all to call this a celebration but an awareness, because more than a celebration, we must raise awareness for all the afflictions that still afflict us as workers. But if you consider the very convention of this day today, the May Day, if you look at what we have today and call the minimum wage, if you look at what we call the NHI, whose implementation we hope is going to be successful and hope is going to be a major mitigant, it's an indication that not all is lost. This giant federation of Pumzile John Komomo is still very much, comrade, relevant, but a lot, comrade Zingiswalos, still has to be done. For if we are going to relax on our laurels, we are going to be frozen in history, and then we'll be rendered irrelevant. Comrades, on behalf of the Provincial Executive Committee of COSATU in this province of Mpumalanga, we welcome you all here in this beautiful town of Middelburg. Amandla!
Thank you very much, Comrade Chairperson. Now we can relax because we are now welcomed in Mpumalanga. Comrades, we are going to start now with our addresses, but before I call the president of this federation, COSATU, comrade, you must welcome the president yourselves. Yes, comrades, before we do that, we call the next speaker. I will request that the comrades give us a revolutionary song, either from the left or from the right, or from the middle. Anyway, it's your day, comrades. This is your day, and you must enjoy it. Can we now bring Sanko, the president of Sanko, Comrade Richard Klope, invite you to the podium as we request a revolutionary song from yourselves, comrades. I know you can't disappoint me. Can you join this side? Can we all sing, comrades? Can we all say? This side, you are always disappointing me. Can you join?
Amanda! Amanda! Ayihlale phansi bamba umthetho, comrades.
Ayihlale phansi bamba umthetho, comrades. The president of COSATU, Comrade Zingisal Losi, president of the ANC, Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa, leaders of COSATU present and all affiliates of COSATU, leaders of SANCO led by the provincial chairperson, leaders of the ANC in Mpumalanga province, led by the chairperson, leaders of the SACP in Mpumalanga, SACP General Secretary, Comrade Mapaila, leaders of PYA, all our MTM structures present, all the workers present, revolutionary greetings, comrades. I wish to begin by congratulating COSATU for staging a successful May Day rally. Indeed, your coordination and organizing has yielded good results. Thank you very much. Comrades, we meet at the time when the plight of the working class is deteriorating globally. This is owed to the deepening crisis of the global capitalist debacle, which continues to exacerbate the working class and the poor bear the brunt of this crisis. This therefore reminds us that the workers of the world must unite because they have nothing to lose but their chains. The conditions we found ourselves today forces us to unite in order not to only navigate challenges thrown to us, but also negate the disastrous effects of the capitalist society. Today, comrades, as SANCO, we came here to just present. Okay. Sekuyazwakala. This therefore reminds us that the workers of this world must unite because they have nothing to lose but their chain. The conditions we found ourselves in today focus us to unite in order not to only navigate challenges thrown to us, but also negate disastrous effects of the capitalist system. We also meet just after the country celebrated the Human Rights Day on the 27th of April, 2025. Whilst we know this important day in our calendar, we wish to underscore that the triple challenges of poverty, unemployment, and inequality, as well as crime, have worsened the country, and particularly in this province. Therefore, according to the latest socio-economic review and outlook of Mpumalanga province, poverty has deteriorated to 51.7%, whilst unemployment has increased with 11%. But we understand time, comrades. All we want to say is that the triple challenges, we have to fight them. I know our program of government is very clear on how to move forward. But what we want to do, comrades, is that we say to our government, let us move with speed. The program is good, but we need speed. Yesterday we had a march as SANCO. We made it clear that we are sick and tired of poverty, of high unemployment, increasing inequality. We are sick and tired of those things. We will march now and again to put pressure on our government, because this is our government. It's not other people's government, it's our government. We will put pressure until we succeed. We are saying, Comrade President, as the head of state, the ANC have developed a manifesto that is good, that says we'll do this, we'll do that, but we are waiting unashamedly because the unemployment continues to increase. Lastly, as Sanko, we are saying we don't want anything that talks about VAT. In Kosatu, I'm from Kosatu. In Kosatu, we fought against VAT until it succumbed. Even today, we continue to fight against VAT. We are saying to our government, down with VAT, down with VAT. And we are saying in future, anything that is a critical decision, the alliance must be consulted. On this issue, VAT, we never had an opportunity as alliance partners to speak about it, but we are saying, down with VAT, let us not talk about it, it must not happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Comrade Richard. Bakhulumile bahlali. Mr. DJ, please assist me now as we invite Amakomanis, the South African Communist Party General Secretary, or Comrade Solima Baila.
Amandla! Long live the alliance, long live! Forward to socialism, forward! Down with capitalism, down! Forward with the unity of the workers, forward! Thank you very much, Comrade President, Program Director, leadership of our alliance present here, led by President Zingiswa Losi of Kosatu, President of the ANC, Comrade Ramaphosa, Comrade Hlope, President of Sanko, and all other leaders of our movement present here, leadership of the Communist Party, and the rest of the alliance in the province and at national level, and the MDM formations. Our message, comrades, will be shorter so that we can give you enough time to celebrate this day and also allow Kosatu President to share the main message. We are the supporting act. But as we start, comrades, I want to start where Comrade Richard Hlope left and say, down with VAT, down. Down with VAT, down. Forward with the NHI, forward. Forward with the implementation of Bella Act, forward. Down with the GNU, down. Down with the GNU, down. Down with the reactionary forces that want to divert our revolution, down. Thank you, comrades. Firstly, we want to commend and greet all of you workers, particularly for the recent struggles that you have shown in practice. We joined marches led by Kosatu, in some instances jointly with SAFTU, to fight against the VAT. We fought against the reactionary forces led by the DA trying to sabotage the national health insurance, which is a universal health care for all, in which all people who are sick will not have to pay at the point of service. They will not be asked whether they have money or not before they are looked after by doctors and medical services. The reactionary forces that want to say they support our movement are fighting against this. They are also fighting against the introduction of the Basic Education Law Amendment Act, which becomes universal access to education at the nearest point of service, because they want exclusivity of whiteism in this country. But hidden behind that is exclusivity of capitalists, because they can afford. So therefore, these forces must be condemned. That's why we supported the nationwide march recently led by SATU, one of your affiliates, Comrade President, nationwide against austerity measures. Austerity measures are budget cuts that are a symbol of neoliberal capitalism. In other words, modern day capitalism is neoliberalism. Neoliberalism means capitalism that do not want the role of the state in the affairs of society. They want the state to be just the lawmakers. Whereas in our case, we have a government mandated by the people to resolve their problems. That is why we are supporting a public-led economy, public-led industrialization, not neoliberal economy, because that allows capitalism to enrich itself at the expense of the majority. And therefore, we are calling on government to take a turning point against neoliberalism and against capitalism. In other words, we are calling for the people's government to assert its independence and serve the working class wholeheartedly, without any shame, without pleasing all the imperialists across the world, including the capitalists here at home. It is in this regard that, comrades, the battles that we have taken together, including the battle to defeat the neoliberal introduction of the VAT by the Treasury team in government, we must condemn this in the strongest possible terms. Now, for instance, we have to listen to reactionary forces that want to create an impression that they are against the VAT, like the DA. They are not for that. What we are calling on the Treasury to do as they are preparing a revised budget is to increase capital income tax. At least they can bring back the percentage that they reduced in the last round of reduction of capital income tax. That will give us more than 4 times what they wanted to do with the VAT. We are also saying they must introduce measures to make sure that SARS can be able to track the capitalists who are not paying tax and recover, Comrade President, as the Commissioner of SARS indicated, almost 800 billion rand. That should be the main focus. It's 800 billion in the hands of capital. They want to run away with it and not serve the interests of the people. And therefore, comrades, we also want to say our government must remain committed to fight against imperialist forces, especially given the new tendency from the White House led by Donald Trump, who's creating problems all over the world. We say the world belongs to us, the world belongs to the working class. Working class of the world, unite. You have nothing to lose, but you are changed. The main problems in our country are the problems of capitalism. We are launching a program, Comrade President. We are inviting the entire alliance and all our people as we are rebuilding organic socialism in our country. Because capitalism is not the solution to our crisis. We call it the People's Red Caravan. Everyone is invited to join this program to rebuild our society, reconnect our revolution with the masses, rejuvenate the National Democratic Revolution, and transit towards socialism, not allow the NDR to stagnate and even stall or even be hijacked by forces of capital and even be misdirected. So we want to redirect this from bottoms up. In other words, we'll start with the grassroots up to the national level. We wish COSATU great success. We can see already today's event, great organization, comrades in Mpumalanga, all of you in the alliance, we appreciate your efforts for putting it together. Amandla! Forward to socialism, forward! Down with capitalism, down! Thank you.
Thank you, GS. Siyabonga. Comrades, Amandla! Amandla! Halala Mpumalanga, halala! Halala Mpumalanga, halala! Now, comrades, we are going to invite the President of the African National Congress, President Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa. Mare harimu biti fela. Pakama, pakama.
Parama, parama, Iglesia, parama, parama, Iglesia, parama,
Amandla. Viva COSATU, viva. Viva COSATU, viva. Viva SACP, viva. Viva SACP, viva. Viva Sanko, viva. Viva Sanko, viva. Long live the African National Congress, long live. Amandla. Comrades, ngiyanibingelela nonke egameni le alliance yethu, i-alliance ye-ANC, South African Communist Party, COSATU, neSANCO. Ngithanda ukubingelela inkokheli zeCOSATU, upresident weCOSATU ekhona la, nezinye inkokheli zeCOSATU nakuprovince. Ngibingelele inkokheli ze-South African Communist Party, uGeneral Secretary we-Communist Party nezinye inkokheli nabo bekhona la. Phinde ngibingelele nenkokheli zeSANCO nopresident weSANCO ekhona la. Ngibingelele nepresident ye-ANC Women's League, umama ukhona la naye namhlanje. Ngibingelele nepresident ye-ANC Youth League, ngithi roar young lions roar. Comrades, ke lethabo le leholo hore re be mona hare ha lona mo Mpumalanga. Ke batla ho leboha COSATU haholo COSATU ya mona Mpumalanga ho organizer rally entle ejena ke le lebohe for organizing such a successful May Day rally. Thank you very much, and you can applaud yourselves. Many workers across South Africa and across the world are gathering today to celebrate the great victories that workers have achieved over many years. They are gathering to declare that the struggle for the rights and interests of the working class continues, and to commit themselves to pursue that struggle without end. Ka lembe leri, COSATU itaba is celebrata 40 years since it was established. Ilava ku khensa swinene ku ri COSATU leyi nga sungulwa in 1985 ya ha ri kona, ya ha hanya, and you are the evidence that COSATU is an undying federation. We want to congratulate you and thank you for continuing to fly the flag of COSATU. The founding of COSATU on the 1st of December in 1985 was a truly historic moment in the struggle for workers' rights and the quest for the unity of the working class. It also marked a turning point in the struggle for democracy and freedom in our country. It was at the founding Congress of COSATU and Rally in Durban when the first president of COSATU, Elijah Bahai, a mine worker, gave a clear warning to the apartheid government to do away with the Dom Pass. And in no time, in 6 months, he had given them, the Dom Pass was gone, which showed the power of COSATU. For COSATU continues to be a powerful federation and a true representative of the workers of this country. So on this day, comrades, we pay tribute to the leaders and members of COSATU who sacrificed so much for the achievement of democracy and the advancement of the rights of workers. Since the formation of COSATU, this COSATU has been in the forefront of the struggle to fundamentally transform society, but to ensure that the workers of our country get the rights that they deserve. And I can say, your rights as workers will not be reduced in any way whatsoever. In fact, your rights must keep on being advanced and being made better. Yes, your struggle for a living wage must go on. It was COSATU that led the struggle for a minimum wage as set out in the Freedom Charter. And that aspiration in the Freedom Charter has been achieved. And we congratulate COSATU for leading that struggle. Today's minimum wage, little as it still might be, but it was COSATU that led that struggle. So today, in our message of support, because this is COSATU's day, we want to say, we want to see a strong COSATU. We want to see the affiliates of COSATU becoming stronger and stronger, representing the interests of workers, making sure that they work with the ANC, the South African Communist Party, and SANCO in the alliance to strengthen the alliance so that the alliance must continue to lead transformation in our country, so that the alliance must make sure that unemployment goes down. More and more people must get jobs, to make sure that poverty is eliminated in our country. The alliance must lead, with COSATU being a strong member, to make sure that we get rid of inequality. And comrades, we want to applaud you as I conclude, because this is your day and President Losi's day. We want to thank you for standing firm on issues such as the National Health Insurance. We thank you for having stood firm to make sure that that law is signed and that law is passed, and to also say that law is going to be implemented by Atanda noma abathandi. And COSATU and the alliance, you played your role. Kweminye imithetho, which even as we are in a government of national unity, we were able to make sure ukuthi the wishes of our people are fulfilled, be it the Bela Act, be it the Expropriation Act. All that has happened because of you. So we want you as COSATU to continue being strong, and we as the ANC will continue to support COSATU. And today it's our joy to participate in this rally to support COSATU and make sure that COSATU does succeed. Siyabonga, realibuwa, realebucha, siyabulela, akhensa. COSATU aya mahlweni, ivele phanda, ibonale uri federation yabashumi, ibonale uri COSATU inamanda, ufira zote the federation, amandla. Forward with COSATU, forward. Thank you, comrades.
Thank you, President. Matla. Thank you very much, Comrade President Matamela. Now, comrades, it's time for the keynote address that will be delivered by the President of the Federation, Comrade Zingiswa Losi. But before we invite her to the stage, I will request those that are dealing with music to assist me in welcoming the President of COSATU to this podium.
Oliver Tambo, 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 Tambo, Usibambu ngasiyeke, Oliver Tambo, Usibambu ngasiyeke, Oliver ekhaya ubatshe lapho siye khona emahlathi ase Angola awuthatha nansi phazu shaya ubulale zonke izizwe shaya mabhuna Oliver Tambo Oliver Tambo Oliver Tambo Oliver Tambo Oliver Tambo Oliver Tambo Oliver Tambo
Amandla. Long live Kosatu, 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 long live. Long live the South African Communist Party, long live. Long live the African National Congress, long live. Eta Sanko Eta. Malibongwe. Long live the undying spirit of Elijah Bachai, long live. Long live the undying spirit of Winnie Madikizela Mandela, long live. Long live the workers of South Africa, long live. Thank you very much, Program Director, the Deputy President of Pop Crew, the President of the African National Congress, President Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa, the General Secretary of the South African Communist Party, Comrade Africa Soli Mapaila, the President of Sanko, Comrade Richard, the leaders of our Revolutionary Alliance, COSATU affiliates, and most importantly, workers of Mpumalanga in South Africa. Siyanibulisa maqabane. We are gathering here today, leadership, not to entertain ourselves, but to reaffirm our power as workers. May Day, it is not a holiday, but rather it is a weapon for workers. Today, it is a day of struggle that is rooted in the blood of those who dare to fight. They fought for our 8-hour workday. They fought for our right to organize as workers. They fought for our dignity, and they fought for life. And therefore, from the blood-soaked streets of Chicago in 1886 to the rolling mass action, the Durban strike in 1973, May Day is written by the working class. May Day is COSATU's inheritance. May Day is our declaration that the struggle of workers continues. Comrade leadership, here in Middleburg, here in Mpumalanga, surrounded by coal, surrounded by agriculture, surrounded by manufacturing and energy, workers are not guests here. We are the builders of the economy in this province. We are the producers of the economy in this province. We are the ones that keep this province and the entire country running. As this federation of Elijah Bahai comrades, we walk in the footsteps of our giants. As we remember Comrade Katishi Masimula, the fearless former General Secretary of FAU who recently passed on. As we remember the contributions of Comrade Membathi Mdladlana, the founding president of South African Democratic Teachers Union. As we give respect to Comrade Tito Mboweni, who was our first Minister of Labor, who ensured that in the democratic dispensation, the rights of workers are enshrined, not just in the Labor Relations Act, but in the Constitution of South Africa. Here today and in the entire South Africa, we want to honor their legacy, not with silence, but with militant action. Comrades, the apartheid regime banned May Day because it feared workers' power. And it is therefore for this reason that our unity becomes important. Because when workers are united, the chains of oppression tremble. When workers rises, comrades, the ground shakes beneath capital. We will remember as we honor the 1973 that it was indeed our forebearers, the invisible hands of factory workers, of cleaners, of municipal workers who reignited a movement and a force that apartheid regime had to deal with in order for us to be able to enjoy this day. Comrade leadership, from the rebellions that came in 1973, the rights that today we are enjoying as workers, amongst many that have been mentioned by the leadership of our alliance, is the right for us to assemble as we are doing today. It is the right for us to join a trade union of our choice. It is the right for us to bargain freely. It is the right for us to ensure that labor law remains relevant to all workers. And we want to remind ourselves today that these were not gifts that were given to us, but they have been won by COSATU and by our predecessor, SACTU, and therefore our unity becomes important. Comrade leadership, we want to say that there are many victories that we are celebrating. The maternity protection, the paternity protection, the COVID-19 billions that were released, the UIF. We have now domestic workers that have been integrated into the Corridor Act that in the past was not there. We are striving towards the living wage. And we want to remind ourselves that workers must never be passive observers. Comrades, we are our architects of victory. We are COSATU, the fighting engine of democracy, as it has been alluded to. But let me remind ourselves that we must not be naive, comrades. We know for a fact that victories of yesterday are under attack today. Unemployment remains a national crisis in South Africa. Labor brokering and casualization have not been defeated. Gender-based violence is still scavenging. Wages of workers is still squeezed take our kids to school. Workers cannot afford decent housing. We must make a choice whether to take your child to school by transport, or they walk, or you buy bread and meal. Comrade leadership, we did not fight for a democracy that delivers crumbs to workers and the working class. And therefore, as a federation, sifuna ukuthi Mongameli, we demand transformation, not tokenism. We demand redistribution, not cosmetic reforms. We are very clear as this federation that the state must serve the working class, not the few elite. We are very clear as COSATU president that we did not wage a struggle for us to see the democratic state become a playground yamasela. We are saying, President, the control of the state is about its machinery to eliminate poverty, to eliminate unemployment and inequality, not to elevate tenderpreneurs. And indeed, we do welcome that 61% of the budget, it goes to the working class. But we want free education. We want the grants to be increased. We want housing, decent housing. We want free, affordable transport system that is safe in our country. And indeed, as the Alliance have spoken, we reject austerity logic that reduces the number of nurses to patients. Austerity reduces the number of teachers per learner. Austerity reduces the number of police officers per community. We can no longer afford it. You cannot, therefore, President, balance the budget by balancing it at the back of workers. So as a federation, we're saying here today, cut corruption, not clinics. Tax the rich, not the poor. Capacitate the state, do not hollow it out. And yes, indeed, President, we know that some of our cadres that we deployed in government have betrayed us. State capture and corruption was not imported outside. It was home ground made. We want to also recognize leadership and salute workers who have rebuilt this country from the ground up. We want to salute ESCOM workers who have restored energy. We want to salute Transnet workers who are rebuilding our ports and our rails. We want to salute SARS workers who are stabilizing the revenue. We want to also salute South African Police Services workers who are fighting criminal syndicates, because it is workers who are cleaning up the mess. It is never ministers and never billionaires, but workers. We also want to salute Parliament for rejecting the regressive VAT hike. But sifuna ukuthi siyijonge ngemehlo lokhozi, ngoba singathi kanti sifakwe iwulu emehlweni xa sithi siyanikezela sibona izinto zijika. The budget, comrades, must be progressive and not punishing. The budget must be able to stimulate the economic growth. It must create jobs and it must tax the wealth. We are saying fix municipalities, pay workers, kamaspala, fire corrupt municipal managers, end the rot and do it now. As this federation president turns 40 years old this year, it is 40 years of struggle. It is 40 years of sacrifice. It is 40 years of survival. The question that we must answer now as workers organized under COSATU is whether are we building the COSATU that was envisioned by our founding president Elijah Bahai, by Emma Mashinini and Ray Alexandra. Are we on the ground, comrades, recruiting and building our unions? Are we defending workers daily from the brutality of employers and capitalism? Are we holding employers and government accountable? These are the questions that ourselves we must introspect and answer. Comrades, this is not the time for weakness. It is the time for us to recommit. Let us go back to basics. One industry, one union, one country, one federation, one COSATU, united, disciplined, and militant. And sifuna ukuthi to our alliance partners, to the ANC and to the South African Communist Party, as you engage on the resolution of the electoral contestation, we trust that your leadership, the ANC and the SACP, you will continue to engage each other as our political vehicle on the modalities of the alliance contesting the local election. What we do not want is a divided COSATU. What we do not want is a divided working class. What we do not want is to see ourselves going below 40% and losing complete state power. And therefore, as our alliance, you have a responsibility to unite us, or else history will bury us all. We do not forget our brothers and sisters in Swaziland, in Zimbabwe, in Sudan, in Western Sahara. And as COSATU are saying, we stand with them. And as I end, Chair, here in Mpumalanga, the land of Gersibande and Jackson Tembu, where the lungs of our economy are dug, are mined, are planted and picked. We want to salute the workers of Delmas, of Secunda, of Bethel, of Emelo, of Emalahleni and Komazi. You are not invisible. You are not invisible, but you are invisible. Comrade leadership, let us leave this gathering as this federation, and we must declare that no retreat, no surrender. To government, we are saying, workers are your lifeline. To employers, we are saying, our labor demands justice. To each other, we are saying, divided we beg, united we bargain. Siyabulela mphathi nkqubo, siyabulela kwi-alliance, siyabulela kubasebenzi baseMpumalanga. Amandla! Thank you very much, Chair.
Tata Kosatu Tata. Comrades, now we are coming to an end of our formal program, but this is not the end of the program. We we are still going to dance. Amandla! Amandla! Comrades! Comrades! Comrades, can you assist me with the comrades that side? Please, comrades, Bopa, comrades. Comrades, allow us to conclude the program. Comrades, Mata, ask those comrades to allow us to conclude the program. Comrades, we are going now to invite the Deputy General Secretary of NEHAU to come and do the vote of thanks. But this is not the end of the program. After the vote of thanks, we will give you the announcement and tell you what is that is going to follow. We've got DJs. Those that they can dance until tomorrow, you are going to have that opportunity. Can I invite Comrade December Mavuso to come and do the vote of thanks? Comrade DGS.
Amandla. Away, two. Thank you very much, comrades. Comrades, being a member of the Central Executive Committee of COSATU, I want to take this opportunity on behalf of the Central Executive of COSATU and thank the leadership of the Alliance, especially our chief guest, the President of the ANC, the General Secretary of the Communist Party, the President of SANCO, of course, our keynote speaker, the President of COSATU, who spent their time from their busiest schedule to grace this occasion. I also want to take this opportunity to express our gratitude to the Central Executive Committee members of COSATU who spent the week here together with the PEC of COSATU to ensure that this event today is successful. But I also want to express our gratitude to the leadership of the ANC in this province for their support, including the leadership of the Communist Party, the leadership of SANCO, but also the two locals, that is Wheatbank and Mittelberg locals, because when we started preparing this event, we indicated to comrades that this is a national event, but you are given an opportunity as the two locals to show that you are capable of hosting. So we want to thank you, comrades. And lastly, because normally all program directors bayakhohleka uma kwenza ama-vote of thanks, ngifuna ukubonga upresident, upresident wePope. She was the first one to arrive in Mpumalanga, by the way. So it's not a mistake that she was a program director. So I want to thank you, my leader, for the work we've done throughout the week and today. Lastly, we want to thank all of you as members of COSATU, the members of the African National Congress, of the Alliance that are here today. This was a beautiful day, comrades. Amandla.
Thank you very much, DGS. Comrades, just two announcements. We have arranged catering for all of you, but the caterer will come closer to you so that they are able to give you food. There is something prepared for you. Don't leave as we continue with the entertainment. And for our guests, and I've got the reason why I will not mention that place by name, where there was a briefing this morning, our guests, we have prepared for you that side. So as soon as you feel that now you are ready to leave, that is the place where you will be served with your lunch. Comrades, now we are going to allow those that are responsible for your dancing. But before we do that, DJ, just play the last song as we allow the leadership to leave so that we can continue with the next part of the program.